So interesting. So can you tell me about the structure of your business? What's the corporate structure?
I own it with the medical director.
You're the founder, right? You basically are the one who's
Um,
owned it, right?
I work with the medical director,
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Um, so with the
but the company helped me set it up, and I'm not really sure what you mean by corporate structure because I never had any, attorney review my structure. I was just, so I don't really know.
okay,
Because it was really
that's fair.
easy to set up and I really wanted to, you know, expand my career.
Mhm.
Because I have been in aesthetics for a while and I really wanted to, you know, um, get myself involved further. And should I be concerned?
Again, I'm not here to get you in trouble, and I appreciate you asking that question. But again, I'm just here to get to the bottom of what's going on, so I can write my report, be home, by 5 to have dinner with my family. Just like you, I'm trying to do my job here. But again, I'm not
Was
my
there a
goal.
patient complaint? Because I
Uh,
haven't had any patient complaints.
well, I apologize, but I'm really not able to talk about any of that. If there was a patient complaint, there might have been. It has to be confidential, and if there is, that's something that the Board of Nursing through the Department of Consumer Affairs or another administrative agency would communicate with you when the time is right. So we just can't reveal that at this particular stage, assuming
Okay.
that there
Would the
would be
company
previous.
know? Do you want to
Uh,
talk to them? Because they did
no,
everything.
no, because ultimately, right? I guess I would ask you this question, right? I'll kind of go Socratic on you and ask. So, if there is a patient complaint, do you think it's going to be you as a California registered nurse who's going to be in jeopardy of losing their license or being disciplined, put on probation, et cetera? Or do you think it's a company that's based out of state who doesn't necessarily have a clinical license to lose? I guess you kind of have to ask yourself that question. There's really it's not up to me. I'm just a lowly law enforcement investigator. Uh, that's just kind of how it is. But yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think about it that way. And when I signed up
Mm,
with the company, I did know that they weren't owned by
mm,
attorneys or doctors or
mm.
nurses. And I know that um, they said they were doing everything right. And I didn't think about it that it
Mm.
could affect my license.
Okay. Can you do me a favor and tell me what happens? Let's say that you did have a patient who had something go sideways, right? Let's say that
Yeah.
you had patient who had an injection. Maybe they developed ptosis as a result of it. Maybe they had some type of burn from a laser that was not anticipated.
Okay.
How and to who would you escalate those issues, and what's happened in the past?
Well, we do have standardized procedures, and
Mhm.
I did sign them. My medical director should be made aware of any immediate issues with patients, but I also have the remote platform that I can utilize to have patients assessed. Um, you know, the platform is primarily more of a questionnaire type platform.
Mhm.
But if I needed to contact one of my friends who's a nurse practitioner and get them involved, I could totally do that.
Mhm. Okay, very interesting. Now, now if you call the physician or try to contact the physician, does he or she get back to you timely when you call them, or is there a
Um,
delay?
yeah, they get in touch quickly.
What's quickly?
Um,
How
well,
fast?
I would say, I haven't really had any issues.
Mhm.
And from my past experience, when I've contacted somebody, I would say within 30 minutes.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Let's go back a minute on your social media. When you do your advertising on the gram, I think that's what the cool kids are calling it nowadays. When you're on Instagram and on the Facebook, right? When you're doing the Facebook, how do you advertise your services? Do you have the medical director's name on it at all, or do you just put um, your logo on there? Anything like that? What do you do?
Um, Well, the company helped me set all of this up,
Hmm.
and when I've posted things, um, it's been similar to my logo and me.
Okay, thank you for that. What about doing mobile stuff? Do you ever do like mobile Botox parties, or do you do like fillers maybe in somebody's house, or in their in their living room? Do you ever do anything like that?
I don't know.
Okay, that's good. Okay, very good.
Yeah. I
And
mean, one thing I do know is people used to do that, but I heard that Botox parties and filler outside of an office could potentially be considered like outside of the standard of care. So I know I should not ever do that.
yeah, outside of an integrated health system, very good. Sounds like you heard from somebody good on that. That's awesome. So interesting. So the last thing I'll ask you today, I think before I have a couple more questions after this, but to kind of close this piece out, do you ever practice your aesthetic skills on friends and family?
Do I practice them? Well, when I was opening up my med spa, um, I did have a few, you know, trainers do like a training day, and I was able to, have some patients and family get treated.
Now, when you did that,
Hmm.
did you put them in the computer and actually treat them fully like a regular typical client or patient and do the full diagnostic workup and assessment and H&P and GFE, or did you just basically, give them a neurotoxin or a lip filler or, whatever you did and just call it a day?
Well, they were treated in the past, and I was still setting everything up. Um, so I'd really have to check
Mhm.
to see all of my documentation to make sure I can answer you correctly.
Okay, thank you for that. I know I'm throwing a lot of questions. Again, I'm not here to get you in trouble. It's to get to the root of the matter here. And so I guess the last
Okay.
thing I will say is, or ask, can you please get me copies of the following documents? I'd like to see them now. Printed
Oh,
copies, please, and or you can make so I can make copies. I'd like to see
am I in
your.
trouble?
No, 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 that's okay. Again, I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I just need to get to the heart of the matter. We're just doing our job, right, to protect the public and make sure that licensees are practicing safely. We want to make
Okay.
sure that we get a copy of your standardized procedures. Of course, those need to be signed and dated by you and your physician and any other clinicians who are performing things. I'd like to see a copy of your collaborating physician agreement signed and dated by you and your physician. I'd
Okay.
like to see a copy of all of your corporate formation documents, your shareholders agreement, meeting minutes, including
Okay.
your first meeting and annual minutes. I'd like to see a copy of your bylaws. I'd like to see stock certificates. I would like to see your fictitious name permit and any names that the practice is associated with. I'd like your physician's contact information. I would
Okay.
like to know your hours of operation. I'd also like to have access, at least tell me where all of your social media pages are. And I would like to ask you to pull client charts on these particular 10 patients that we went ahead and got information for. Is that okay? Can we go ahead and do that?
Is that a HIPAA violation?
Well, I'm not a lawyer. I do play one on TV though, right? But so I think what I would suggest is, I can't make you do anything. I'm just again here to get to the heart of the matter.
Did
What
I
I
talk
can
to an
tell you,
attorney?
uh, I can't give you any legal advice, but what I can tell you is that it would be very helpful to this investigation if you were able to
Okay.
give us the information that we're requesting, right?
Right
Because if
now?
you don't, well, yeah, we do need it now
Okay.
because again, this is not again to get you in trouble, it's to protect the public. And we want to make
Okay.
sure that we're doing everything we can to help you with that. So at any rate, yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
need all those now. I need them on paper. I'd also like to see your corporate books. If you've got some corporate books on hand, I think that would be really, um,
Oh,
really
okay.
beneficial.
Um,
And your
and
website, right? I saw it, but I'd also like to see, you know, uh, I'd like to see your website again. So make sure that I have all of your websites and all your emails and contact info.
can you leave
Um,
a list for me in case I have to work on some of this? And I can
uh,
also, The
We really need
company,
it today, Miss
oh,
Nurse. We really need it today. Is there any way you can get it for me today?
yeah,
Okay,
I'll get it today.
okay. I need it now
May,
actually. So yeah,
okay.
before we leave, because
Oh,
I flew all the way down to your clinic from Sacramento, and so we need to make sure that we're not wasting tax dollars here. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll wait. Can I have a
okay.
cup of coffee or something while I wait?
Sure. But wait,
Glass
you
of
mentioned
water.
something about a stock certificate.
Uh-huh.
I'm not an IPO. What do you mean by that?
Well, again, I can't give you legal advice, but I can tell you that, if you do have the right corporate formation in place, you should have stock certificates, right? Because I'm sure you know that your physician needs to be a 51% shareholder under Moscow-Knox Act and all those other state statutes. But again, I can't give you legal advice, but you can Google it or ask ChatGPT. I'm sure that they'll have the right answers for you. So
Oh,
at
I,
any rate, do you have any questions for me before we wrap up and I wait for those documents?
um, I, I guess I would need you to maybe go over some of that information again so I can get it and I will contact my medical director.
Sure.
You can wait here while I gather everything. And
Right.
I also need to, okay.
Sorry to
Um,
interrupt. Go ahead, ma'am.
no, that's okay. And I will get everything to you and I will find my stock so that you can look at it.
Fair enough. And again, just a reminder that, failure to comply with this might, construe it as not being compliant with the board investigation. And so, just remember, we are here to help. I'm not here to get you in trouble. You have my contact information. I'm going to leave you my card with my phone number and email on it. You can feel free to get back to me ASAP. But I'll wait a little bit to see what you have, and then we'll do some follow up, and I'll
Okay.
need that stuff by the day after tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, so if I can't get everything to you right now, am I not being
We'll
cooperative?
keep a record of what you gave us and what you weren't able to give us, because again, this is part of an official formal investigation. And again, I can't really
Oh,
tell you about specifics at this point, unless, God forbid, an accusation was filed against you. So you might be able to request
an
something called,
accusation?
if the right, so if the there is a document that you can request called an 800C, but you don't need to necessarily request that. That's for the lawyers to figure out. I think your best bet right now is to get us the documents that we requested, and
Okay.
if you can't give them to us today, we'll just mark in our official report that you didn't have these documents on hand, and we'll let the record speak for itself. But listen, I'm going to
Okay.
go
Yeah.
because I've got another couple med spas that I need to visit while I'm down in Southern California today. But I
Okay.
appreciate your time. Again, this is not meant to get you in trouble. This is just to help you and
Thank
keep the
you.
public safe.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
All
No,
right.
thank you. I appreciate your help.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Hey, I'll get everything to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay safe. Bye bye.